Get this night off right and turn the bass up, blow my eardrums up, just like a fire truck. Get this night off right and turn the bass up, yeah, I like it loud, I like it loud. Shaking through your legs, the way the sun drops, feel it in your chest, the way your heart stops. Get this night off right and turn the bass up, yeah, I like it loud, I like it loud now.
We're live for Take 2 on Casella SK80 night, kicking off a monster weekend of motorsports here at Stafford. A full card of our weekly divisions are here tonight with the SK Modifieds once again taking the spotlight. Kyle Rickey's caught up with last year's champion.
And Rob able to catch up with a driver that has had a roller coaster season thus far. However, he is on the front row for tonight's Casella 80. It's, of course, talking about Andrew Moeller. And Andrew, first off, let's go back a couple of weeks. Pulled behind the wall just a couple laps in. What was the diagnosis there with the 85 team?
Yeah, just some electrical and fuel problems. I mean, it was just kind of a perfect storm of bad things going wrong with our race car. And, you know, things happen. I mean, the amount of luck we had last year to finish, you know, inside the top 5 at the first 9 races and, you know, win a couple races, win a championship. I mean, luck was on our side just about all of last year. So at some point it has to run out. Unfortunately, it ran out a couple weeks in a row. We had a pretty bad run week 2, and then you know, the mechanical issues the week after that. But I think we're definitely back to kind of where we were last year a little bit. You know, won our heat last week and put ourselves on the outside pole. So it's just all about standing on business and taking care of what has to be done.
That heat race win last week does put you on the front row. How much confidence does that give you coming into this 80 lap for tonight?
Quite a bit for sure. You know, finishing in front of some of the guys that have been running up front all year long is definitely a confidence booster for us and our race team. It's 80 laps, right? So it's double the distance. It's going to be you know, pacing yourself a little bit, making sure you have some tire left at the end of this one, and being there when it counts. So I'm sure at the beginning of this race it'll definitely be a little bit more tame than we're used to for 40 laps, but at the end I'm sure all hell will break loose like we see just about every Friday. So I'm looking forward to it.
Good luck here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, that is Andrew Moeller starting on the front row. Let's hear the other driver that is starting on the front row with Rob.
Kyle, I caught up with John Pulio. John, you were putting together a pretty fantastic season here over these first 3 events. You guys did a lot of work on the car late last year. Tell me what it took to get this car up to the speed that it is now.
Yeah, just working with Keith Rocco, my dad, and my car owner Vinny. It's just been an unreal experience. You know, we struggled early in the year and made the switch over to this car, and it's just been great ever since. You know, we had a really good car at the end of last year, and our goal this whole offseason was just keep building. So I think it's been showing, and still have a little ways to go.
Now, the racing this year, especially since the advent of the new tire rule last year, you guys are really bunched up throughout the race. Going double the distance here today, though, are you expecting to see anything different in the back half of this event as you've seen for the first few weeks this year?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be different. I mean, double the amount of laps, so we're basically doing 2 races. I think the fall off will be quite a bit. It's just who can conserve their stuff. Track position's big, and just trying to stay in the right lanes at the right time. But I think we have a pretty good strategy going into it.
Good luck out there, John.
Thank you.
Kyle's caught up with a driver hoping to turn their season around here in the SK Modified division.
Rob, from the front row to a driver that's having to come from mid-pack, and Corey DiMatteo. And Corey, 80 laps tonight to try to get to the front from what you have seen the first 3 weeks. What's it going to take to get there?
A little bit of luck, stay out of the wrecks, and a good race car.
How would you summarize the first 3 weeks of your season? Now we're about a year out from when you ripped off 3 in a row here. What's it going to take for you to get back to Napa Victory Lane?
Just a few more weeks of testing and tuning on this thing. It's a new car to us this year, so I think it'll be better once we get it figured out, but we just got to keep taking notes and keep getting better every week. I mean, it's tough to unload a custom-built race car. We don't buy our cars like everybody else, and they're not a kit car that you could just go order off the shelf. So when we get it right, it'll be really good. It's just a matter of getting it.
Best of luck to you here later tonight.
Thank you.
That's Corey DiMatteo starting just outside of the top 10 in tonight's Casella 80. Now let's go to the other side of the pitch. Rob is able to catch up with one of our heat race winners from the SK Light division a week ago.
Kyle, I caught up with Josh Morrison, driver of the 35 SK Light. Josh, you and Ben both off to kind of a rocky start here in the season, but you both managed to rip off heat race wins. What collaboration goes on behind the scene during the week for you guys?
It's mainly just us 3, my brother, my father, and I. We're working on the setups and getting the cars right. My brother was a little free for the first few weeks, and now we got him right. So, and then this car's been right. We just keep running into people and keep running, you know, that's on me.
Now, with the handicap system here at Stafford, you guys are both starting mid-pack, right in the middle of the Hornets' nest. Is there any sort of effort to conserve back there? I mean, what's the strategy starting right in the middle of the pack?
Starting right in the middle, I guess, trying to get to the front of it before anything really bad starts to happen. So hopefully we can get that done. But starting right behind my brother, it'll be, interesting. Maybe we could both push right up to the front, but we'll see how it goes. Mainly the goal is to get up front early.
Thank you, Josh.
Sir, thank you, Rob.
Now to the other side of the pits with Kyle, and a driver who's going to be starting up front here in the late model feature.
Rob, it's rare that we get to talk to the pole sitter, knowing the pole sitter for feature events here, but because of qualifying last week, we know that Chris Buffoni's on the pole for our late model feature event here later tonight. 2 heat race wins here in the first couple of weeks of the season. Chris, how do you put it together for 30 laps here later tonight, starting up front?
Well, I started up front a whole bunch last year, but I think we've got a much better piece, much better equipment now for 30 laps. Starting on the pole, I mean, we've been going a little better here the last couple weeks and hope to keep building on that. So just got to put it all together and try to be consistent.
Would you kind of summarize the first 3 weeks of your season so far?
Well, the Sizzler and the first week were not the best, and then we showed up with a little more speed and lost power steering early in the race. So I think we had a good piece that night too, and just lost power steering, and I physically couldn't turn the car anymore. So I would love to say it's going good, but I mean we're still struggling a little bit, and showing speed now. I think it's definitely a positive, but we got to try and build and put the results on top of that.
A heat race win is a heat race win, and a win's a win. How much confidence can that give you going into a feature?
It definitely gives me confidence right now, but I mean, I haven't even stood on the podium yet, so I just want a good run and a solid top 5, or God forbid I stand in victory lane. It'd be a great night, and just going to try and do that.
That win could come here later tonight. You're in good position, at least at the start. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. We're just going to try and run.
There you go. That's our late model pole sitter, Chris Buffoni, here later this evening. We'll keep an eye on the 07 here in our late model feature. Now let's go to the other side of the pits and hear from one of our limited late model drivers with Rob.
Kyle, I got Gary Patnode here. Gary, kind of a rocky start to the season, getting caught up in other people's messes, but you won the heat race with the handicap. You're starting out front. What are you looking for out of this car starting up front here tonight?
Well, we're looking to get going real quick is what we're looking to do. We're looking for a little bit of luck as well. We started off the year pretty strong. We just had a little bit of bad misfortune on our side. Car was really good last week. We were very disappointed not to get to race it, but we have the starting lineup from last week, so we're starting on the point tonight. Great race car last time we were here in practice and in the heat race, so stars align. We'll do our best tonight. We'll see where we end up.
Now, there was a lot of misconception about the final caution in last week's heat. You pulled down pit road. Could you clear up what happened there?
To the best of my knowledge, they came on the radio and told the 42 to come down pit road, and I was having some hearing problems with the earbuds last week, and it sounded like 22 down pit road, and I didn't even think twice. I listened to race control, so when they told me to come down, I didn't understand why, and then they instantly came on and said, keep going. So luckily they let me come back out, and we were able to pull off the win in the heat race, and yeah, that's what happened. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Still won the heat race. Fine piece out front tonight. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's time to go racing with a larger-than-life card here at Stafford Motor Speedway, and Kyle Rickey and Ben Dodge are on the call for it all.
Well, thank you, and ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, it is Friday night, the sun is shining, and we are in for an incredible night of competition. This is just the kickoff. We've got the monster trucks in town coming up for the next 2 days, and you're looking at backstage our qualifying events for tonight. Now, we have 2 new or 3 new qualifying events for the street stocks. Why is that? Well, we already ran the street stock feature event a week ago. The management here at the Speedway decided to add them to the program, and those will be the only qualifying events tonight. So once the completion of that, we'll go trackside and we'll make the presentation before the main events of competition. You've already seen some of the many side stories that have been told as Kyle, Rickey, and Rob went through throughout the paddock area and talk to the men who were starting in the front row, who were contending, the side stories, and the look behind the scene. So right now, I think it's appropriate. Kyle, Ricky, the gentleman alongside, we are about ready to begin this evening's program. Our pit road reporters tonight, Kyle, are two very qualified individuals, and we welcome them to this evening's program as well.
Dave Arabal and Monza Tufo will be joining us from the pit area and on pit road in the infield here as this program begins in just a couple of moments. The first heat race about to roll out onto the speedway in just a few seconds from now. A lot going on, like you mentioned, this weekend. The Hot Wheels Monster Truck Live Tour making their outdoor debut anywhere, and it's happening here tomorrow for 2 shows and on Sunday. Got a good look at one of the trucks as you entered the racetrack through the main gate, the Bone Shaker down there, and will be part of the program here tomorrow. Bigfoot rejoining the race program as well. Back at Stafford for the first time in over 25 years. Talk more about that as the Casella 80 later this evening for the SK Modifieds, the first leg in the Tick Mike Triple Crown. As heat race number 1, Ben, looks like is rolling out onto the racetrack.
It certainly is. This, of course, is round number 1, and car number 37 will be starting at the point. That's the Truck Country machine from Columbia, Connecticut, David Masha Sr.
And to the outside of the front row, car number 32 from Ellington, Connecticut, the Connecticut Axle and Spindle Service car for Colton Gambacorta.
Let's take a look at row number 2, the Barn Package Store machine from Summers, Connecticut, car 49 for Jason Raymond.
4-starter car number 7 from Granby, Massachusetts, the Safeco Foam TMS Dryer Vent Cleaning entry for Jeff Aslan.
Then we go to car number 67. That, of course, is Aaron Plemons out of Uncasville, Connecticut. Plemons driving the AJ's Cafe Twisted Tea, Uncle Mike's car.
Outside of row number 3, car number 14. We'll take the green flag here in just a moment. The 14, of course, for second consecutive week here at the racetrack from Waterford, Connecticut. That is Sean Monahan.
Car number 5 inside of the next row. That is, of course, going to be the Trash Mob Garage car from Bristol, Connecticut for Pete Kayer.
And the 26 will round out the field from Blue Point, New York, the Rent-A-Race car entry for Colin Volpe.
Well, the story is 5 laps, 5 cars to make the transfer. Mike Hellberg and Bill Long on the starter stand for this evening's presentation. Of course, in race control, trying to keep the playing field fair, will be Chris Cambato along with Gunny and the staff over there. Our scorers for this evening's presentation is Russ Smith, Judy Clooney, a little bit under the weather. We'll look forward to having her back next Friday evening. Here they come, Kyle. Round number 1 of 3. Here they are off turn number 4. Snap of the wrist, the green flag comes out. They're pretty much even, but by the time they get down into turn number 1, it's a whole different story.
It's Jason Raymond at the outside lane by a half a car length over Colton Gambacorta. They shuffle the deck a bit from 3rd on back. Jeff Aslan in the 7 coming to life to the inside of Plemons. Gambacorta to the inside looking for the race lead as they come off of turn number 4. Car 32 to the point. Colton Gambacorta will lead lap 1. Jason Raymond crossover move as they go to the corner looking to retake the top spot.
Off that second turn, they're side by side and wheel to wheel. Colton Gambacorta cut his teeth Monday nights here at the Speedway. Jason Raymond not far in Summers, Connecticut. Side by side, then moving in, working some magic. It is car number 14. Coming to the front, that's Sean Monahan. Monahan cuts the move to the outside, to the inside. Monahan is a man looking racy now, Kyle. He'll make a bid for second.
Second consecutive week here at the racetrack, and a different race car here tonight for car number 14. Sean Monahan up to the second spot and closing in on Raymond, was able to take that position away from Gambacorta, who is under fire now from Aaron Plemons, who goes to the inside to turn number 2. Top 2 beginning to break away as we will look for the white flag this time.
Deep down to turn number 3, bid is for that 3rd position. Aaron Plemons makes his move. He'll take over the 3rd spot. White flag is out. It is a great battle as Colton Gambacorta not giving up a bit. Meanwhile, moving into contend is Jeff Aslan with the number 7 car. Off the turn, running in the tire tracks of our leader, Jason Raymond. But Sean Monahan clicked off the quickest lap of the event, taps to the back bumper. 1, 2, 3, glued to the back bumper. Checkered flag is out. it is Jason Raymond to take down the win, Sean Monahan to finish in the 3rd position, Aaron Plemons to finish in 4th. Kyle?
Then it was Jeff Aslan, Colton Gambacorta, Pete Kayer, and Colin Volpe rounding out the finishing order. As we check in the pit area with Bonza.
Yeah, Kyle, that's a big one for Jason Raymond because he hasn't really been quite happy with the car this season. Feels like the car is pushing a little too much for his liking. They made an adjustment after practice hoping it would work. I know the heat race is only 5 laps, but he was able to hold off Sean Monahan. That's a good start.
Certainly is a good start. Monahan, one of the best in the business. Round number 2 is about to come on to the racetrack. Car number 99, Michello Motorsports, brings us the 99 from Somers, Connecticut for Isabella Mancella.
Outside of the front row, car number 15 from Ware, Massachusetts, the Dustbusters duct cleaning entry for Sean Petlock.
Then we go to car number 69 from Belchertown, Mass. That, of course, is the Royce Auto Service car for Bill Cody.
Car number 55 will go to the outside of row number 2 from Southampton, Massachusetts, the SK Property Maintenance IMC Manufacturing entry for Brandon Warren.
Let's take a look at row number 3 to the inside. He won a week ago, defending champion PJ Ladola and Sons Electrical Contractors Machine. From Barkhamsted, Connecticut, car number 42, Travis Downey.
6-starter car number 23 from Wallingford, Connecticut, the CKG Welding and Fab entry for Alex Spinato.
7th starting spot goes to the Bobby's Burner Service Machine from Chicopee, Massachusetts. It is Brennan Morsda.
And rounding out the 8-car field, the number 22 from Herndon, Virginia, the rent-a-race car entry for Jay Adams.
So there you have it. This is the 2nd of 3 qualifying rounds. If you just joined us, welcome on behalf of the folks from Casella Waste Management. They've got an impressive display down there on the midway. All food locations are open. Of course, Paps is. Big night here at the Speedway, across from the Double Hook Bar as well. And best seats in the house, or best standing location in the house to enjoy this evening's presentation. And of course, the sausage stand. You can smell those peppers, onions, and sausage, located directly behind Broadcast Central on the Midway. Plenty of great food items. We've got ice creams. We've got lots of great items that are available all the way down through the Midway area. Make sure you get yourself something good to eat or drink. Plenty of time, a lot of great racing action left. Picture perfect weather, ideal situation. Kyle, here they come off turn number 4.
Here they come off of turn number 4, looking for the green flag this time by, and Isabella Mancella will bring the field into turn number 1 for the first time with Sean Petlock to her right elbow as they go to the corner, and Petlock has a great run in the outside lane in that 15 car. Will take the top spot away. Mancella will backslide just a bit into the clutches of Brandon Warren for the 2nd spot.
Brandon Warren's really coming to his own this season. He moves into 2nd, quickly closes up the gap, stays glued to the back bumper, takes a peek to the inside of Sean Petlock. Petlock looked so racy just a moment ago, but he has got Brandon Warren, fastest car on the racetrack, car number 55. Down the back straightaway, Cody becomes right there behind him, makes the move as the lead changes. Brandon Warren, Bill Cody, and there is a charge right behind him, Travis Downey, the big dog in this division. He moves in, takes over position number 3.
They single out toward the front of the field. You talked about Brandon Warren having a great season. How about Bill Cody? Has led laps in the last 2 feature events. In fact, he has led the majority of laps over the last couple of features in car 69, still looking for that first win. Challenging for the heat race win here with the 55 of Brandon Warren just in front of him as they enter the final 2 laps.
There's no question about it. Off the 2nd turn, things have tightened back up. Isabella Mancella starting to work over Sean Petlock in the battle for the 4th position. No changes there. Back up front, here is Brandon Warren. Off the turn, white flag is there. Mr. Consistency, Bill Cody, running in his tire tracks, and Travis Downey, defending champion and defending race winner in the class. He sets in the 3rd position.
Into the final lap and up the backstretch for the final time. Brandon Warren and Bill Cody racing for the heat race win into turn number 3, with Travis Downey looking on in 3rd as they come off of turn number 4. Checkered flag is waving, and by a car length, it's Brandon Warren at the start-finish line over Bill Cody. Travis Downey and Sean Petlock in fourth.
In the fifth position goes to Isabella Mancella. Brendan Merzda will finish in the sixth spot. Alex Bonato 4-7, and Jay Adams to round out the top 8. So that's our second qualifying event in great racing action here. We remind you, if you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, Monaco Ford in Glastonbury and Niantic, Connecticut. We invite you to go online because next Thursday, the Monaco Ford Group puts together a spectacular cruise and car show. It's located in Glastonbury, Connecticut, just around the corner from Monaco Ford. There is no cost, and we'd love to see you there. If you have a special interest vehicle, bring it to the Monaco Car Show. It's for a great cause, and we'd love to see you next Thursday evening. Right now, let's go to round number 3, Kyle, and car number 58 is going to be starting at the point. That's the Tea Kettle Restaurant of Old Saybrook car from Madison, Connecticut for David Chiasco.
Outside of the front row, car number 81 from Griswold, Connecticut, the Northeast Truck-In off-road entry for Brent Gleason.
Here's a guy that's looking very racy this season, driving the Rico's Pizza Machine from Stamford, Connecticut, Marvin Minkler.
Fourth starter, car number 80 from East Hartford, Connecticut, Jet Motorsports to bring us Tyler Trott.
Here's a colorful guy, both on and off the racetrack. The American Signs J&J Trucking Company machine from Ellington, Connecticut, car 84, Bert Ouellette.
Sixth starter, car number 44 from right here in Stafford Springs, Willington Pizza providing the sponsorship for Rob Sears.
In the seventh starting position, it's the Home Turf Professionals Lawn Care machine from Walcott, Connecticut, Sean Riley.
And rounding out the 8-car field, car number 66 from Hull, Massachusetts, the Rent-A-Race car entry for Daniel Griffin. That's the lineup, final qualifying event for the street stocks. And like Ben mentioned at the top of the show, all the other divisions were qualified during their heat races last week. The street stocks were able to run the feature before Mother Nature set in and rained out the rest of the program. That's why the street stocks are in the process of qualifying here this evening to prepare for their feature event later tonight. Everybody else qualified last Friday night and will be ready to go for feature racing here shortly. And don't forget the SK Modified Driver Autograph Session coming up shortly down on the midway behind the little grandstands off of turn number 4. Bonza?
Talking about the guy starting in second in this heat, Brent Gleason. He had a top 5 last week, but he wasn't really happy with the car. When he was in the shop, he actually found that there was an issue with one of the upper control arms in his machine. It was cracked a little bit, so his car was acting a little bit wonky compared to how it normally drives. He feels like the car is fixed and the car is good to go for tonight.
We'll have to see because he looked very strong in practice as well, so let's see what's going to happen. This is the round number 3 final qualifier. Lights are off on the safety vehicle provided by Wheeland Engineering. First name and light, sirens and safety services used throughout the world. Here they come. Off turn number 4, snap of the wrist, the green is out. There's no question about it. Car number 58, David Ciasco, quickly moves to the front of the class. Will it be short-lived? 5 cars under a blanket. They come off the turn. Leader still remains the same. David Ciasco is there, Kyle, but look at that side-by-side bid for the 3rd and the 4th position as they come back to the stripe.
Marvin Minkler's in that battle, and we'll go to the inside in car number 71 on Brent Gleason, the 81 car to the inside. Minkler now kicked to the bottom of the racetrack with Gleason now in the outside lane off of turn number 2. That race for position 1 car length behind David Chasko, our leader. Also, Bert Ouellette, a 2-time winner in this division this season, running 4th right now. That black and green entry looks to make it 3 wide for 2nd. Didn't quite have the momentum off of turn number 4 and settled back in the line.
Meanwhile, Tyler Trott is working his magic with that number 80 car. Sean Riley clicked off the quickest lap earlier. All of a sudden, Riley moves into the top 5. Side by side, still the story. Marvin Minkler running on the inside. Brent Gleason to the outside. Off the turn, evenly matched at the stripe. It is still Brent Gleason in for second. 3 of the 5 laps are done. We are about to get a lead change off turn 2.
Here they come off of the corner, up the back straightaway. Marvin Minkler goes to the front of the field in car number 71. Bert Ouellette will follow him through on the bottom and try to get that 84 car to the 2nd spot. David Chasko not making it easy for him. topside in the 58 as they get the white flag. 1 lap to go, and they're all chasing Marvin Minkler.
They sure are. Sean Riley is really turning some heads here. He moves into the 3rd spot. Riley has worked his magic up to the top 3. Then it's Brett Gleason settling back in. He'll be back in the 4th position off the turn. Back to the stripe they come. Checkered flag is out. Wow. And Marvin Minkler will take down the victory. Great run for him. Bertolette, quickest lap of the race to finish in 2nd. Great run for Sean Riley in 3rd. Tyler Trott up to 4th at the closer. And Brett Gleason to round out the top 5.
David Chasko will finish in 6th. Then it was Rob Sears and Daniel Griffin completing the 8 cars in this 3rd and final qualifying heat race. For those tuning us in on Facebook and YouTube, thanks for joining us during these qualifying heat races. The rest of tonight's program can be seen exclusively on FloRacing. Feature events coming up next.